Hello, Victor here at restoremercedes.com, and behind me is the vehicle I'm working on right now. This is a 1998 S600 coupe, and what I'm doing here is plain and simple window regulator. You know, it would say, yeah, whatever, it's not worth the video. It is worth the video, so let's take a look at the regulators in a moment. These are the regulators. First things first. Now, the vehicle itself, the regulator failed. Fine, you go buy another one. No, they're no longer available. So, used regulator came in. But before you install anything used, then you obviously want to fix the original one. So let's take a look at the original regulator. See, somebody already tried to weld it, and the weld points broke. As you can see it, they did break. The bushing here that actually slides the window up and down is okay, but the welding broke. So somebody already tried to fix it and didn't yield any good results. So go for the used one. All right, so here's the used one. This one I actually just painted all over, just because, you know, it didn't look very nice. So just painted it with black paint, and it looks decent now, but I still have to break out the rivets that are stuck in there. That's to be gone. I mean, you know, that's to be done. The slider here is all loose and broken. That is to be replaced. But then we have this situation. This is important. This is the bolt that holds the rear of the glass, and this is in the adjustment one. So if this thing is not exactly where it's supposed to be, the glass is gonna move. And the used regulator, I don't know what happened there. It's probably was loose, and it broke the elongated area here, and that's what I have to fix now. This is the old bolt from the original piece. Now, this bolt is crimped in. I mean, not the bolt, I'm sorry, what I'm saying, bolt, the nut. So the nut is crimped in, and I got it out, and now I need to actually weld it into this area, weld it in place of the broken nut that's supposed to hold the rear portion of the window on the glass, because you see how much it broke, because it was loose for a long time. But the good news is that all the teeth are fine. So there was a little bending going on over here, not a big deal. So this regulator can go back in after I weld the nut, a replacement nut, in the place where it's supposed to be, because this is important. All right, Victor here again. There is an addition to a previous video about the window regulator. So let's take a look at the progress rather. So the regulator is put back together. Well, let me just show you the regulator, and then we're going to go over with the rest of the job. So now the regulator itself is lubricated, as you can see. I used a brush. I don't want to spray things, so when I install it, it's actually okay. Rivets are removed. These are the old rivets, the ends rather. I have a new set ready to go. The plate installed, the bar rather. This is the one that moves the window. So there is a bracket here. There's another bracket on this side right here. We're going to put it in later because I don't want to lose it. Not to lose it, but I don't want to be loose, so it's all over the place when I rivet this thing back in. Now the nut itself, that is welded. I threw in a little bit of quick drying paint on it just because when I welded it, it's not welded, it's like tacked in, right? So just a couple of tacks, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 tack points, and that's enough, because the purpose of this very nut is to adjust the bar, so it's not like I needed to, I mean, I wanted to tighten it up, right? So if I don't get the access to the nut itself, so how I'm gonna tighten it? So therefore it's tacked in from the factory. So that's the idea. So far so good. The regulator is about to go in. Before I'm riveting this thing in with the rivet. Now I'm gonna use the small one. You're not supposed to use this. This is too weak. There is a way to do it with this, obviously. You have to do it in like 3 or 4 tries. It'll work, because these rivets, these are very strong rivets, and this steel rivets. So it's like, you know, it's with one try. You know, you're supposed to use a much bigger gun than that. So before I'm going to rivet this thing back in the vehicle, I'm going to put the regulator in, and I'm going to attach the motor to it and run the motor with the regulator hanging, just to make sure everything is in order. And only after that I'm going to rivet it permanently. Not the end of the world, you know, it's just that I know it's gonna work. But also you have to lubricate the window guides. These are the guides. There's one over here, there's another one over there deep inside. That's one of the brackets for the window guide. Obviously that has to be cleaned off and lubricated before I even put in the regulator, because I don't want to get in there, because regulator is in the way. So I would clean it now and lubricate those, and then put regulator in, test it out, and then we'll move along. Okay, so regulator is back in the car, and I just spent like freaking forever time to clean the glass, because this thing had some tape that held it in place, because, you know, regulator was bad and the window would just fall down. And on top of that, I had tint, a light tint. I didn't even see it. It's like about 35%, maybe even 50% tint. Maybe even, I mean, I don't know, it was so light I didn't even see it. So I finally got all of this stuff cleaned off, because tint came in, it's 2-ply, and first layer came off, and then the second layer came off, and then all the glue was stuck to it, so I had to clean all of that stuff up. And that's all good, because this is what we're going to deal with. You see, all of this is the residue from the tape that held the window in place. So all of this also has to be cleaned off. But at this point, I just need to put this glass back in here so I can close the car up. It's past 8 p.m. already, and I have to go inside to eat something, because this is unbearable. Yeah, it's a simple job, should have been, but no, it's not, because of all these extra troubles. So I'm gonna put the glass on 2 tabs, on 2 bolts that I showed before, just to have it sit. So when I close the door, it's going to be closed, and the rear window will follow. Trims tomorrow, no more. I can't do anything for today. All right, so maybe I'll make another edition how the window moves up, and actually no, well, maybe I will. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so this is another edition.